Good evening, everybody. Hopes everybody having a blessed day. It's your host, Vault Talk Vague. It's your host, Vault Boy Vague, and we back with breaking news. I apologize for that. We're gonna cover Nicki Minaj father. 7 just reported being shot abroad in Olney, and also a woman body found burnt in Fairmount Park. So first we're going to start off with the Fairmount Park, the woman in Fairmount Park. Woman burnt, naked body found in Fairmount Park. Police discovered a burnt naked body of a woman in Philadelphia's Fairmount Park on Wednesday morning. Someone called 911 around 6 a.m. and reported that a woman was on fire on the street on the 2300 block of Strawberry Mansion Drive. Philadelphia Police Department spokeswoman Officer Tanya Little said firefighters arrived and declared the woman dead on the scene. Police blocked off the road as they investigated. At least one Arsenal K9 unit responded. NBC 10 reporter Miguel Martinez Valle said, big police response in Fairmount Park this morning. Parts of Strawberry Mansion Drive is shut down after the bridge. No arrests were immediately made. The woman's death followed by another suspicious death involving a fire in the city Wednesday morning in Kensington neighborhood, police said. A man's charred remains was found inside a burning car. Now that's one story we have on that one. We want to also take it here to 7. Give me a second. Okay. Next news in Philadelphia. 7 shot near Olney Transportation Center. Police officers say 7 people were shot Wednesday afternoon near Olney Transportation Center. Police said the shooting happened about 2:50 p.m. Views from Chopper 6 showed a large police presence near the station on the corner of Broad Street and Olney Avenue. Police Commissioner Danielle Outlaw said those injured range in the age from 17 to 70. The 7 victims injured a 22-year-old man who was shot in the back, a 21-year-old man who was shot in the right leg, a 53-year-old man who was shot in the right leg, a 36-year-old woman who was shot in the right thigh, a 70-year-old man who was shot in the right thigh, a 17-year-old girl who was shot in the right arm, a 71-year-old man who was shot once in the stomach and multiple times in his legs. The victims were taken to area hospitals. The 71-year-old man was listed in critical conditions, but others was listed in stable condition, police said. One person was taken into custody and 2 gunmen were found at the scene. An earlier version of the story said one person was dead following the shooting. So let's take some clips of and see what happened on this thing. And we're going to also take some clips and look at what Danielle Outlaw had to say about this shooting also. And we'll be right back with more breaking news and updates on Nicki Minaj father.
People right in the middle of the afternoon.
As you saw, it is a large crime scene. Action News reporter Christy Aletto arrived there not long ago, and she's got the latest on what we know at this point. Christy.
That's right, Brian and Sarah. Heavy police presence here at Broad and Olney. All of this unfolding right in front of the SEPTA Transportation Hub. We're actually just hearing that Commissioner Outlaw, who is on scene, will be speaking momentarily. But like you said, this happened just before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Again, a total of 7 people have been confirmed shot. I want to go to some aerials from Chopper 6 from just not long ago, where we can see some of the victims being loaded into ambulances and rushed to nearby hospitals. Injuries of those 7 victims range from wounds to the back, legs, ankles, and arms. 6 of those victims have been taken to Einstein. SEPTA says one of their officers transported a victim, and that individual was taken to Temple University Hospital. Now, we do know that 2 weapons were recovered. This is per police. It's not clear, though, how all of this started. That's something that detectives are working to uncover. But again, back out here live, a very active scene here. Heavy police presence, a maze of yellow crime scene tape, a large perimeter around this area. It was even difficult for us to get here because a lot of these streets have been blocked off. Traffic has been diverted. But again, we are hoping to hear from Commissioner Outlaw, and we are being told that she will be speaking momentarily. Reporting live here, Christy Aletto, Channel 6.
Several shooting victims, a total of 7, ranging in ages of 17 all the way up to age 70. Several has sustained gunshot wounds, non-life-threatening injuries, but ranges the 17-year-old, for example, a graze wound to her arm. The 70-year-old suffered from a shot to the thigh. We do have one person that is unidentified. We're still trying to get additional information because they are actually in the most serious condition and critical condition, which we initially thought was a shot to their back. At this point, we're doing everything that we can to identify witnesses and identify surveillance footage. We do have one person in custody, and we have 2 firearms recovered. We're still trying to connect all the dots and determine exactly if that person had any involvement in the shooting or whether or not those guns were utilized in this shooting. But at this point, we're still putting all the pieces together, and we'll be out here for quite some time.
Pretty much, I mean, it's broad daylight,
yeah.
Middle of the day, I mean, pretty brazen.
It's very brazen. We had officers, I mean, whether it's from SEPTA, we're out here, you know, we were able to get someone in custody as quickly as we did because we had officers in the area working on another assignment. So it's not for our lack of presence out here, but I think it's very telling that folks that are willing to engage in these shootings are becoming more and more emboldened, regardless of not if they see us out here.
The person in custody, do you guys believe that's one of the shooters?
We don't know. There may be some connection at this point. What that person's connection is, we're still trying to figure that out through the use of corroboration of evidence and witness statements.
Is it possible that there are multiple shooters since 2 weapons were recovered?
It could be. Again, we don't know. There are multiple casings. We found around 18 casings over there. Still trying to determine if they all came from the same firearm or from one firearm. Like I said, it's still really early in the investigation, and we'll be out here for quite some time.
Any chance that any of those 7 victims were the intended target?
It could be. It could very well be. And it's also possible that some of the people that were hit were not. Again, time will tell. Thanks. Just want me to start all over again?
I'm so sorry. Is it okay for some of it?
No, I mean, I'd be happy to share with you what I said. A little bit before 3 o'clock this afternoon, there were several calls for shootings here at the intersection of Broad and Olney. The shots were actually heard by some SEPTA officers that were here in the area, in addition to several calls that we received. Upon our arrival, we located 7 shooting victims, ranging in ages of 17 to 70. There's one person that has been listed in the most serious condition. We have not identified that person or their age. At this point, the 17-year-old, the youngest person, suffered from a graze wound to her arm, and the 70-year-old suffered from a shot to the thigh. We do have one person in custody, and we have 2 firearms recovered. At this point, we don't know the extent of that person's involvement. The person that we do have in custody, or whether or not those firearms that we do have recovered were used in the shooting. We found several casings over there, and again, we'll be out here for quite some time, and we'll be doing everything that we can to gather evidence, surveillance footage, speak to witnesses, and do everything we can to put the pieces together.
Is the person in custody also a victim?
No.
Do you know if this happened on a bus or?
No, it happened across the street outside. It wasn't on the bus.
No indication if it was a robbery or any sort of?
No, we don't know yet. And again, we're still trying to determine, one, who these folks are, who the intended victims were, and if there's any connectivity to recent shootings in the area, either today or in recent times.
I mean, you got a lot of people out here this time of day. I mean, anything you would like to ask these people that might have been walking by here and saw this?
Absolutely. I mean, even if the time, if there anyone out here who witnessed the shooting, if it's not now while we're all here, at some point, please call us with any information that you may have. If you have any video footage, anything that was passed on or relayed to you, please share that with us. This is happening far too often. It's happening in broad daylight, and we need everyone to come together to help us solve these cases.
What kind of weapons were recovered, like the caliber? Do you know?
I'm not at a place to release that at this time.
I'm sorry, just to be clear, so you're still looking for additional suspects?
We could be. The question was asked before you got here, or do you believe there are multiple shooters? We do have one person in custody. Again, we don't know the extent of that person's involvement. If they are involved, we don't.
Okay, we back, as you can see, what Danielle Outlaw had to say. We touched up on her topics and her feelings about that. Please like, share, and subscribe so the videos can get out there more. Let's get right into Nicki Minaj's father. Driver who allegedly killed Nicki Minaj's father, Robert Mirage, turns himself into police. The hit-and-run driver accused of killing Nicki Minaj's father in Long Island allegedly got out his car, stood over the injured man and asked, was he okay, before fleeing. It was revealed in court papers Wednesday as he was taken into custody. Charles Povincic, 70, turned himself in Wednesday morning for the disturbing collision with Robert Mirage, 64, who he allegedly left to die instead of calling 911 or an ambulance, police said. Povich was in a white 1992 Volvo driving northbound on Roslyn Road when he allegedly hit the singer's father, who was walking in the same direction at about 6:15 p.m. on Friday. The defendant then exited his vehicle, stood over the victim, asked him was he okay, walked it and returned to his vehicle and fled the scene. A criminal complaint reads, Narosas County Police Detective Stefan Fitzpatrick, the commanding officer of Homicide Squad, described the incident in a greater detail during press conference on Wednesday. Now, I need to know, y'all think Charles should be locked up? Here's some pictures of Charles. And I'm taking Charles into custody. I need y'all to let me know how y'all feel. And do y'all think Charles deserved to get first-degree murder or third-degree involuntary manslaughter, or with vehicular homicide? He got out the car and looked up at the deceased and got into the car and made the conscious decision to leave. Fitzpatrick said instead of dialing 911 or an ambulance, he went home and secretly hid his vehicle. There was a significant amount of snow at the time, and Mirage, who lived nearby, had been walking in the roadway. After he was hit, the super bass singer father was rushed to a local hospital and was listed in critical conditions. Then scrammed to his injuries at some point over the weekend, police said. And here's pictures of Charles Povich again. Detectives were able to identify Povich by piecing together surveillance footage of his distinctive white Volvo. We were able to track that vehicle prior to the incident as well as after the incident and tracked it right to his house. Fitzpatrick said, adding that Povich allegedly hit his car in a garage. Had Povich not fled the scene, Fitzpatrick said the incidents may have been classified as an auto accident with no criminal charges. Since he took off, police can't evaluate whether he was under the influence at the time of the collision. And here's pictures of Nicki Minaj's father, Robert Mirage. He was hit February on Valentine's Day. That's sad, on Valentine's Day, too. Fitzpatrick declined to disclose wherever Purvis was prior to mowing down Mirage. He said that the police had been in touch with Mirage's family. Povich, who lives in Guyana, and also owns a home in Manoia, was arraigned in the Rosas County District Court on charges of leaving the scene of a incident causing death and tampering with physical evidence. He was ordered released on a $250,000 bond, which is being arranged by celebrity bondsman Ara Judison. Nicki Minaj attends the Marc Jacob Fall 2020 runway during New York Fashion Week on February 12th. So what y'all think about that, y'all? Do y'all think that was an honest accident? That Charles Povich, or do y'all think Charles Povich just really said he don't care and left the guy, Nicki Minaj's father, to die? Please get in the comments. Let me know your honest opinion on the podcast. If you have any news in your town that you would like for me to report, please don't hesitate to email us at vaulttalk1@gmail.com. Please follow on social media networks, Instagram, Coalition TV Films, or follow Vault_Talk. Or you can follow your host, Vault Boy Vague. Please follow us on Twitter, Coalition TV Films. Also, like us on Facebook, Coalition TV. It's your host, Vault Boy Vague. That's all we got for breaking news, and we'll be back with more Vault Talk later on, episode 40. It's your boy, Young Day.